guys, so today I would like to film a video about sacred sex and sacred relationships and sex in sacred relationships and what that means to me and what I think it means and how I think it could transform our planet actually. So sacred sex to me is when you're in relationship, firstly with yourself, in a beautiful relationship with yourself, and you meet another being that's in a beautiful relationship with himself, and you unite, and the sex isn't just about the climax, it's a connection and amalgamation of souls, and you go on a journey together. And you know, this can be amazing for you guys and for you men that that haven't yet experienced these mad out-of-body experiences, orgasms, a lot like as you know, like a woman can, because I think men have been envious of women's ability to have multiple orgasms, and yeah, women seem to appear that they're having a much more amazing time, I feel, an out-of-body experience, because that's really what happens when you full-body orgasm. You shoot off from the crown, and men, you can do this too with your woman in a sacred sexual relationship. I think so much of our sexuality and sexual freedom and, you know, these things that are our God-given right, our born right, have been suppressed and taken from us and abused through us, and it's about taking that power back now, really, and understanding how beautiful your sexual relationships could be. I think there's so much pressure on young men and women in the dating game out there and going out at the weekend, and I think going home with somebody is it's an achievement, it's a prize. It's not just, it's more than that. It's for validation and for your self-worth, because then you're not going to go home and have sacred sex. You're going to go home and you might have really good sex, and you both might come and it's great. Or you both might not be able to get it up because you're really drunk, I don't know, or on something. But then what might happen the next day is you might feel really bad. You might feel really bad for a few days, and was it worth it for that? Because you are worth getting to love yourself fully and then having a sexual relationship with someone that loves you fully. And it's not, I'm not saying you even need to be together in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend. It's that connection. If you're both in love with yourself, and then you meet and you have that connection, you can then go on to have sacred sex and that amazing orgasm journey that I mentioned before. So don't feel like it's only going to happen when you meet the one or anything. Don't put those limits on what you can experience just through loving yourself and then having those amazing connections in your life. But for me, personally, I've just always, ever since I was younger, I've just always had feelings for or been in love or in relationship with the people I've have slept with. Of course, there are times in my life where I led myself into other experiences, but even then, there was still that initial connection. You know, I've always been, what I'm trying to say is, I've always, even from a young girl, felt very strongly about sacred sex, and I think it comes from having a strong sexual connection with my body from a young age, and understanding what I liked and what felt nice, and being lucky enough to be in relationships where I've been able to explore that safely, and you know, being in love with somebody, in love with your partner, and having a sacred sexual relationship is, for me, it's one of the most beautiful things in the world. And when I talk here about man and woman, I'm you know, I'm speaking sort of as myself, but of course there can be sacred sex between, you know, women and women, and, you know, so I hope that makes sense. And I think a lot of women more than men, then feel guilty if that's what they're doing, you know, going out to validate themselves and doing this every weekend, how they're then feeling guilty about that. But I don't want anyone to feel guilty, and I don't want anyone to judge anyone. I just want us to be aware and to have faith and trust in what you can achieve in relationship and in sexual relationship. And with sacred sex, it's available to everybody to explore and enjoy. And even in, you know, people that are in relationships may not even be having sacred sex. There could be, you know, I've been a lingerie model for 13 years, and I've heard some tales in the cupboard, as we call it. And you know, it's from both sides. But if there's a partnership and one of the partners isn't able to express what they want sexually, they're going to feel suppressed, even if the other person's not necessarily like taking it away from them. They just don't know that it's even available, that it's there, because, you know, this is something that we have become quite shy to communicate with. And, you know, porn's got a lot to answer for, man. Like, we all love a bit of you know, erotica and watching a nice story of something leading, like, more sensuality. You know, that's nice. I think that's nice. But, you know, hardcore porn where it's available that you're seeing like terrible things being done to women, or even like someone bashing a woman sexually violently, that's not how a woman wants to be made love to. That's not going to make her have an amazing journey shooting to the stars orgasm. It's not. And I think a lot of men's minds and brains have been clouded by that being good sex, perhaps, and then maybe wondering why their partner doesn't want to explore that anal arse bashing. Sorry, but yeah, but you can explore everything. Actually, you can explore everything with open and honesty and love and kindness and limits, of course, and boundaries. But, you know, you can explore that with your partner. You don't need to go off to a room and watch that and wank to that. If your partner's like in bed alone, like, go and talk to her about the things you want to do to her and with her. Like, don't be shy and don't assume she's not going to want to do it, because she might be shy, you know. I think communication in all relationships is key, and especially sexual relationships, because you can go on some really amazing journeys with your partner. And I think it's okay and good to be conscious about the people you are sleeping with. There's a lot of hazy reports that go around in the spiritual community that I think made some girls feel pretty bad, because it's like, you know, when we sleep with someone, we carry energy for the next 7 years and all this, and it's not that that's anything you need to be afraid of, but just be aware, like, you know, anyone that you wouldn't want to spend time with, or anyone you wouldn't want to live with, then, you know, I wouldn't probably want that person to go inside of me either. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would need to feel that they had a good energy. And we even get this in you know, sleeping next to a partner. You could be coming to the end of a relationship and just lying in bed with that person. You might wake up and you might feel drained because the energy that you're picking up with. So again, like, just be aware that, you know, as women, we are letting men inside of us, and it's a beautiful thing. But obviously, you know, just make sure that person that you are letting in is a beautiful thing too, is as beautiful as you, because then that's when you'll have sacred sex and a loving, amazing time. And obviously, of course, sometimes we get it wrong, and that's okay too. And just don't feel guilty, don't beat yourself up, don't feel bad for anything you've ever done, because you're here now, and you're the person you are because of all your actions and all the things that have happened to you, even the bad things. And, you know, even the bad things can be healed, and there can be healing to your womb. There's beautiful things that I can suggest with yoni eggs and yoni eggs meditations and healing and loving your yoni and the womb space, and you know, getting that space, forgiving that space and loving that space. And men, yeah, you're not left out in this too. You can do that too. You have that same special place inside of you where you hold your power and your self-worth, and that needs to be equally as nurtured and respected. It's an equal thing, this masculine and feminine energy, and they're to be loved and respected from both sides. And when they are, we can have sacred, loving, beautiful partnerships and magical sex and magical orgasms that can take you on trips like you've drank ayahuasca or smoked some DMT. Like it's possible. We really are incredible beings with so much potential, and I wish everyone to enjoy everything available to us. So I hope I've covered a few things here about sacred sex and sacred sex in relationship, and how to love and value yourself and your yoni and your everything, and men also love to all the gods and goddesses out there, and happy full moon too.